If you're on social media, on Twitter specifically, you might have seen the hashtag EAGate trending. If you're wondering what that's all about, well, it has to do with FIFA, more specifically Ultimate Team, and its card packs, the loot boxes, and the very rare cards that they yield with an incredibly low probability, forcing people to spend hundreds if not thousands of dollars just for the low odds of actually getting the desired reward. Ultimate Team has always been a very contentious game mode, and government officials have been picking up on the shady monetization schemes surrounding FIFA. More and more countries, more legislators are beginning to catch up to the fact that FIFA's loot boxes are just straight up gambling. Now, of course, EA will deny this, claiming that, well, you technically cannot cash out through FIFA, and if you can, it isn't through us, it is through third-party websites that are not officially sanctioned by us, taking no responsibility for the fact that they created a platform for these shady third-party websites to exist. Now, it would seem as though it isn't just third-party websites who are looking to make a profit off of FIFA. There's a report that an EA employee exploited the monetization system of FIFA to directly sell rare cards to players, which has created quite the scandal amongst FIFA enthusiasts. Now, one Twitter user who's been archiving everything going on with this situation is HaDe Game. In the early morning of March 10th, yesterday, as of the publishing of this video, HaDe Game tweeted the following, and attached to the tweet is a screenshot of a message thread allegedly showing an employee conducting a transaction with a customer, quote-unquote, in this black market style exchange. So it is highlighted right here how at the moment we have two packages and there are 3 icons, or 3 icons plus 2 Team of the Year. And icons and Team of the Year and all of these labels, essentially they are more special cards that are definitely highly valued because of how rare and how low of a probability they are to obtain. The thread continues, the price for 3 is €750, and the price for 3 plus 2 Team of the Years is €1,000. But as I said to you yesterday, I can give his friends the same price as him, so 600 for 3, 850 for 3 plus 2. So we're not just talking about making a quick buck on the side. This is some serious money that the employee is charging for customers to directly gain access to a specific card that they desire. We're talking about thousands of dollars, hundreds to thousands. And while this is news that's only just starting to circulate, it would seem as though this operation has been going on not for days, not for weeks, not for months, but for years. On top of tweeting, this has been going on for years. It is not something new about FIFA 21, and that it was, even for some, normalized in some way. HaDe Game also posted this screenshot showing a Spanish message, which translates to they've been doing this for about 3 years as far as I know. Just minutes after all of that, more screenshots began to circulate, with HaDe Game posting the following for, and you can see right here the prices that these cards are going for, $2,500 US, $1,000 US, and this employee has enough access that all they need is a PSN ID and an EA ID, and just like that, they can send the purchase cards the customer's way. Then this next screenshot allegedly shows this EA employee guaranteeing that receiving cards this way won't result in a ban. And then scrolling down, you'll find some screenshots showing players who did manage to complete their transactions and did in fact receive some of these highly valued, very rare FIFA Ultimate Team player cards. And there are even screenshots showing FIFA teams that are just chock full of these incredibly rare player cards. For the average customer who doesn't aggressively engage with monetization and spend thousands of dollars, yeah, this right here is nigh impossible unless you're miraculously lucky. That, or you're filthy rich and can afford to spend tens of thousands of dollars. But yeah, you get the idea. HaDe Game will continue to post these kinds of screenshots throughout the day. So here's another thread right here highlighting various costs and prices for various packages for icons and Team of the Years. And then with the images attached to this tweet, not only do we get further confirmation that all this employee, or I don't know if it's multiple employees or just the one, but all they need is essentially one's PSN ID and their EA account information, and voila. Alongside these 3 screenshots, HaDe Game tweeted the following message: "The most disgusting thing is the ease with which they talk about it and with which they propose it. I hope that my complaint will serve to open the eyes of all of you and to EA. This system is rotten and must be stopped now. As word began to spread about this and more evidence surfaced that those messages and this EA employee operation are real, streamers began to chime in. So we got Nick right here who tweeted, "So we grind, trade, open packs, and can't touch these PIM players, but EA employees sell them to people secretly for $1,700? LOL, I respect the grind, but my god." Here's the sad part to all of this. The FIFA Ultimate Team card pack system is so intentionally broken. The probability set so low that $1,700 for 3 moments plus 2 TOTYs or Team of the Years, that's probably a bargain when you consider how much more money you'd have to spend if you want to spin the slot machine to get the same items. You potentially have to spend more than 1,700, not dollars, but euros. 1,700 euros converted to US dollars is actually closer to $2,000. And you'll probably end up spending more than $2,000 if you want to get these 3 moments plus 2 Team of the Years through card packs. In response to Nick, one Twitter user, FIFA Ultimate Team Watch, tweeted how this could open up legal troubles for EA, a company that has insisted that you cannot cash out from FIFA Ultimate Team. So he said, EA has said in court that Ultimate Team items cannot be purchased or sold for real money. If EA employees are actually selling PIMs to people, it could open EA up to legal troubles. And even if we take EA employees out of the picture, there are still those third-party websites, those shady black markets where real money transactions happen. Even if EA doesn't officially sanction these third-party websites, the fact remains that the way they built FIFA and its Ultimate Team mode has paved the road for FIFA to become a real money gambling platform. Another streamer slash content creator who spoke out was Nepen the Z, who tweeted, "Outcome will be this. It's one guy at EA doing something he shouldn't by selling icons and Team of the Years to people for money. Problem is, however, that it's just a massive kick in the balls to literally everyone else. FIFA Ultimate Team players, EA employees, and all encompassed. I know social media is going to have a field day with the memes and jokes, but ultimately, it exposes a huge fucking problem with FIFA Ultimate Team at the moment, to the fact that EA employees are allegedly having to sell icons for people to have a chance of using them needs changing." That's the thing about all this. This is a situation of EA's own making. The fact that there is a market for people who are willing to purchase individual rare cards for hundreds to thousands of dollars goes to highlight how broken and how anti-consumer the Ultimate Team probabilities are. Now let's make this perfectly clear. Hundreds to thousands of dollars for a virtual card in a video game that will expire after a year, given that this is an annualized franchise that resets all microtransactions every year. Yeah, charging that much money is pretty egregious, but still better than how much more egregious opening those loot boxes are. This Eurogamer article explains things further, specifically talking about what icon cards are and what all of these different cards with different labels are. Icon cards are among the most sought after in FIFA Ultimate Team. They include legendary players such as Brazilian Ronaldo, Pelé, Ronaldinho, Zidane, and Ruud Gullit. And this is the important bit. They are near impossible to obtain through the mode's controversial loot boxes. They're out of reach for all but the richest of people who will have a competitive advantage, because these cards aren't just cosmetic, they have tangible gameplay effects. And even rarer than icon cards are what are called prime icon moments, PIMs, special versions of icon cards that mark one game or tournament that was special for the players. Something else EA has touted to try to avoid legal scrutiny is that they are now disclosing the odds of obtaining the different tiers of cards, except not really. When it comes to the rarest cards, those are simply listed as having a less than 1% chance of yielding. But that can mean 1 in 1,000, 1 in a million, 1 in a billion, who knows? The fact of the matter is that nobody really knows what the odds are of these incredibly rare cards. But the fact that even after spending thousands of dollars, you may not end up seeing any of these rare cards kind of says everything you need to know. Whatever the exact probabilities are, they're certainly not fair, and they certainly need to be regulated. Casinos can't just set the probabilities the way they want. they have to follow certain regulations, there's no oversight over the games industry, which is why EA and similar companies can get away with stuff like this. This whole situation was topped off with an official statement from EA Sports published on the afternoon of March 10th, 2021. So just a few hours after the story began to spread. So here's what that reads like. We are aware of the allegations currently circulating within our community related to FIFA 21 Ultimate Team items. A thorough investigation is underway, and if we identify improper conduct, we will take swift action. We want to be clear. This type of behavior is unacceptable, and we in no way condone what is alleged to have happened here. We understand how this creates concern about unfair balance in the game and competition. We will update the community as we get more clarity on the situation. You've got to love the irony of EA talking about concerns about unfair balance in the game and competition, as if FIFA Ultimate Team isn't already unfairly balanced in such a way that people who have money to burn get a very clear competitive advantage. I'm not condoning what this EA employee is doing, but at least through them, you're guaranteed a certain result. You're guaranteed to get that car that you want, rather than having to open these packs over and over and over again. Like, at least with that shady employee, you know the exact price of what you're purchasing and what you're getting out of that purchase. Whereas with loot boxes, you don't know how much money you'll end up spending before you get that thing that you want. It's almost as if it's a gamble. Hey, EA, if you really don't condone any of this, and if you're really concerned about unfair balancing, then how about you overhaul FIFA Ultimate Team? Get rid of all the gambling crap. Maybe if FIFA weren't such a freaking casino, stuff like this would not happen. And FIFA's a casino that's unregulated. As I've said before, casinos are more regulated than video games with loot boxes claiming to be E for everyone, PEGI 3, kids friendly. This statement right here is just complete and utter hypocrisy. And you've got to love how quick EA responds when their ability to monetize is compromised. EA never responded this quickly, or never responded at all, when reports began to surface that kids were getting addicted, spending their parents' money, adults as well, just spending thousands of dollars and just not being able to stop themselves, all of the health concerns. EA only springs to swift action when something compromises their ability to monetize, not when something does tangible harm to people. And indeed, EA is losing money from this. Customers aren't spending their thousands of dollars on the loot boxes. Instead, they're spending a couple hundred to maybe 1,000 to 2,000 on these rare card bundles that this EA employee is selling. And that's money that doesn't go to EA, it goes directly into the pockets of that EA employee. But yeah, players are pissed. This all not only highlights how broken, unfair, and easily exploitable the FIFA Ultimate Team business model is, players are also pissed that, they spend thousands of dollars to try to obtain some of these cards and were unable to, and then you got some people who managed to find a back channel where they spent less hundreds and thousands for their desired reward. Imagine a situation where a casino's employee approached certain customers about rigging the slot machines for a fee, and everyone else found out about it. And given how much FIFA resembles a casino, that's about as direct a comparison as you can get. It'll be interesting to see what happens to the employee, if there's going to be any fallout for EA from all this, legal or otherwise. Time will tell how this all plays out, but this is proving to be a pretty major scandal. But let me make this one thing perfectly clear. This is all EA's fault. It's because of their monetization model that people have gotten desperate enough to engage with back channels like this. It's because of EA that there is a market for this. It's bad enough that these rare virtual player cards are going for hundreds to $1,000 to $2,000 via the black market, but the fact that that's seen as more reasonable than the alternative of playing FIFA Ultimate Team legitimately really highlights just how messed up FIFA Ultimate Team is. But that's just one man's take on everything. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on this latest EA scandal. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.